right, I got to get something off my chest. The NBA community has been frustrating me for a really long time now, and I know I'm not the only one who does not like this negative, hating community. Today, I want to break down why I don't want to be associated with the NBA community anymore, and there's 3 reasons. First off, this whole aura discussion is absurd. The idea that a player's success or legitimacy is tied to some presence rather than their actual performance is one of the most ridiculous narratives in basketball discourse. We are grown men talking about how Tatum can't be the face of the league like he doesn't have a Hall of Fame resume at 27 years old.
Let's close our eyes. Think about Magic Johnson. You can see the smile. Think about Michael. You can see that cocky grin. Think about LeBron. You can see the imagery. Pre-game, chalk. Close your eyes now and do it with Tatum. I don't see anything.
People throw around the idea that Jason Tatum lacks aura and use it as some kind of knock against him. But let's look at the facts. Tatum is a 4-time All-NBA player, averaging 27 points per game this season, while leading the Celtics to the 2nd best record in the Eastern Conference, only behind a record-shattering Cleveland Cavaliers team and a championship last year. A championship. He's played in 5 conference finals, led his team to the NBA Finals in 2022, and won last year while continuing to improve year after year. Yet somehow people act like he's not a real superstar because he doesn't carry himself in a certain way. Since when did body language matter more than production? Oh, but Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP. Shut up. Watch the games. Jaylen Brown is not better than Jason Tatum. I don't want to hear your argument. You need to watch the games. Only clowns are the ones that think Tatum can't be the face of the NBA. So where do we go from here? Anthony Edwards. Let's talk Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is praised for his confidence and charisma, but if we're being objective, he hasn't accomplished a fraction as much as Tatum yet. The truth is, aura is nothing more than a popularity contest. It's an excuse to discredit players people don't personally connect with while overhyping others. The NBA is about skill, it's about consistency, and it's about results, not aura. Get real before I start actually crashing out for real. Okay, the second reason I don't want to be involved with this community. Let's talk about the people who are supposed to promote the game, but instead spend most of the time complaining about it. Mainly the commentators. I'm looking at you, TNT crew, besides Ernie. The Inside the NBA crew is fun to watch, but they constantly criticize the product they're covering.
He's not playing with force. He's looking for the foul. He has a little band-aid on his little hand. Dwight Howard has 1 or 2 moves on the block. His one move is to run in jump hook, and the other move is to pick and roll, get it slam. Just calm it down a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Hater, man.
Kenny Smith's comments during the Steph versus Sabrina 3-point shootout were a perfect example of this.
Don't give me that she hasn't been shooting.
No, she's been shooting, but she hasn't been in season in rhythm.
Listen, you never get out of rhythm. There's no 10-foot rim that holds you back, and let's knock it down.
Well, according to you, you want her just playing with dolls, right?
No, I want her to shoot from where she shoots from.
No, she does shoot threes in the game.
Not from there.
Instead of celebrating the fact that an NBA legend and a WNBA star were creating an entertaining moment for basketball fans, he acted like the competition wasn't even worth watching and was even like low-key being sexist. That kind of dismissiveness kills enthusiasm for the game. Then there's Draymond Green this year, who recently went on record saying he dislikes the new 2025 All-Star format before even seeing how it played out.
To be playing in the All-Star game and you did not make the All-Star team is absurd. They're doing this to pump All-Star up. I think that's dumbing it down even more. Those games weren't exciting at all. I didn't see you even smile during that.
Don't put me on.
It wasn't exciting at all.
The NBA is trying something different to make the event more competitive after years of players not taking it seriously. Whatever, we know this. And instead of supporting the change and hyping it up for the fans, Green straight up just dismisses it. And let's not forget about Charles Barkley, who's been calling today's NBA soft for over a decade now. So what's next? JJ Redick recently ranted about analytics ruining basketball, but analytics aren't the problem. Bad takes are. The use of advanced stats has helped teams understand efficiency better, leading to smarter shot selection. Just because the game has evolved past isolation-heavy mid-range jumpers doesn't mean it's worse. The same people who criticize today's style would have trashed Steph Curry and the Warriors in 2015 for taking too many threes. Yet everyone was hyping him up, everyone was happy to see him succeed, and they revolutionized the sport. So what is the difference? The constant negativity that I see from the NBA community isn't just annoying. It's actively hurting the NBA's public perception. The league already is quote-unquote struggling with narratives about declining interest, but here's the reality. NBA ratings are not nearly as bad as people are claiming. 2 years ago, the NBA Finals between the Nuggets and Heat averaged 12 million viewers per game. Was it lower than some past years? Sure, but guess what? The NBA is still the second most watched sports league in the US after the NFL. Even with occasional dips, the league remains one of the most globally popular sports brands. That brings me to my final point. Hating the NBA has just become a trend. Every time a ratings report comes out, Twitter and YouTube are filled with people claiming nobody watches the NBA anymore.
Steve Kerr spoke at a political convention, did the night.
Stop! This isn't even about basketball anymore. So everyone wants to sit here and talk about NBA viewership, but how many of these people actually watch the games? The NBA's social media following has exploded over the last decade. The league's YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok engagement numbers are some of the highest in sports. People are consuming the NBA in different ways, but they're still watching. The league's international growth is another factor too. NBA League Pass subscriptions have increased globally, with China and Europe providing some of the fastest growing audiences. People claim the NBA is unwatchable because of too many threes and no defense. But let's be real, the league has always been developing and changing. The 1980s were dominated by fast breaks, the 90s slowed the game down with physicality, and the 2000s were the peak of isolation basketball. Now we're in an era of spacing and efficiency. The NBA isn't worse, it's just different. The irony is that most of the loudest critics aren't actually watching the full games. They see a few highlights, read a headline about viewership, and repeat the same tired argument just because it's popular and it's a fad right now. At the end of the day, y'all keep that energy over there, man. Stop with this weird aura debate that ignores actual skill and accomplishments. Stop letting commentators and analysts brainwash you into thinking the game is worse than it is. And most importantly, stop acting like hating the NBA is a personality trait. If you love basketball, appreciate what we have. The league is thriving, the talent level is insane, and the game is constantly evolving. Enjoy it while it's here. If you liked the video, drop a like, subscribe, let me know in the comments what you think about the state of the NBA. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.